Hey friends, today we're taking a look at an old board game. Look at this gem. I can't wait to show you all about it. I also want to tell you, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like the video, send it to a friend. Say, hey friend, I got something free for you. It's a video. And also, is there a notification bell? Ring the notification bell. Let's go. All right, so here we are. Look at this. So this is Pluto Presents Off My Back. Now this one says, and I have a couple games like this, a Walt Disney World game. You can see this, a Walt Disney World game from Parker Brothers. So it's specifying that it has to do with the theme parks. Now this game does not. I do own a lot of games that have very strict theme park ties. This doesn't. This is a Pluto, a Pluto game, and we'll see it. It is a weird game. But first, let's take a look at this kid's shirt. Man, this kid looks like he's, like hanging out at a bar in 1972. Just look at that shirt. And hey, look, he's picked up two young ladies. No, I'm sure they're just friends. It's ridiculous. But I do think the Walt Disney World branding is unique. You can see the Parker Brothers logo here. This game, there's more on the back. Look at this. So this case, by the way, is really crushed. So this is like a lot of board games. They come and it's like a real sturdy cardboard. This is a real cheap cardboard. Feels like a shoebox. How to play Get Off My Back? I'll show you. It's very simple game. Here's a picture of the kids playing it. I mean, it's almost like they were like, hey, can we get the most 70s? Like, if this was a movie, if, like, you tuned into a movie that was made today that took place in the 70s and they showed a kid wearing this shirt, you'd be like, oh, come now. That's over the top. You're just being ridiculous. That's wrong. It's too on point. All right, so let's open the box. Not much in this game. No instructions here. They told you on the back of the box. They're like, hey, you already know how to play. All right, here's our instruction mat, which we'll get to again. The build quality on this game, not the best I've ever seen. I do like all these like levels to this though. There's more under here, so we got to take these apart. Then we get the flea bag, and the flea bag is marked Walt Disney World. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything hiding under here. I have seen these flea bags with nothing in them, and we'll see what they are. It's the game involves having fleas on poor Pluto's back. But I've seen these show up on eBay from time to time by themselves. I also saw one of these once at a garage sale, just the bag. And people are very curious. They're like, what is a flea bag? What is this, from? Well, it's from this game. So here it is. All right, so let me set up the game for you. So this is very well constructed, this stuff. The exterior box, I feel, is really cheap, but like there's a whole system here. I feel like I bought a diamond ring or something. All right. So we can put the box back together, except for leave room to put our flea bag in when we're finished. Always put your games back in the box. This is the one thing that's so wonderful about collecting old board games, is that most people kept them in the box. So unlike every other toy, where getting it boxed is rare. Board games, I mean, that's the standard. So, all right, you got this mat. This is plastic, like Halloween costume from the old days. Got a nice map, a nice game board. I guess not a map. Well, I guess it's a map. If you're like, hey, I need to know the parts of Pluto, this could be a map. You could be like, okay, how do I get from here to here? If you were a flea, that would be it. We've got the Walt Disney Productions logo. It says Off My Back. And then we have the spinner. So the spinner just goes 1 through 6. And it's got the little fleas on it. Standard spinner. So you just spin 1 through. And then the point of the game is to be the one to get the most fleas off Pluto's back. So what you would do is you would put these all face down all over Pluto. You wouldn't just put them on his back. You'd cover his whole body, but you'd put them all face down. Oh, and let me let you get a good look at what these look like. All right, I stand corrected. It says here on the box clearly that the fleas should be face up. So you put your fleas face up. Fleas are not double-sided. I had a false memory just now that there was like special fleas that, like, you know, there was one type that was like wild and that meant you got extra. But no, it's much simpler than that. All the fleas are identical. You put them on Pluto, you spin the spinner, you take the amount you're told to take, and then at the end of the game, guess what? The person with the most fleas, they won, which is the opposite of life. All right, and that'll bring this one to a close. I got my flea bag. I'm going to put away my spinner. Fun tip for you guys: if you're at home, you collect board games like I do, especially if you got kids, have a designated spot in the house that you put missing pieces. When you find a thing and you're like, hey, does this go to something? Put it in this. You have like a dish that you put on a high shelf, like a decorative fancy dish is what I have, and then it's up on a high shelf so no one can see what it's in. You find, you're like, what is this, a ping pong ball? What is this thing? You put it in there, and then that way when you open a game, you're like, hey, something's missing. What happened? Aha! And so, like, if you go and look at mine, it's got like a, you know, don't break the ice piece. It's got like a Monopoly dog. It's got a bunch of different stuff. But anyway, this is a very, very inexpensive game when they manufactured it. My guess is this was a cheap game to buy. It's fun to play. I mean, it's one of those, if you didn't put Pluto on it, I mean, anybody could make this game at home. You know, you don't really need a spinner. There's other ways to create spinners. You can always flip a coin and stuff to, you know, to see how many spaces you're gonna move. You roll a dice, and you can cut out your own fleas. You can draw your own picture of Pluto, and you can have your own version of the off my back game. But there it is. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.